about 16 minutes past the top of the hour, Central Time. That's 8:16. It's time now for my good friend, long-time radio friend, and long-time friend, the librarian, Ericson. You still sound like a superhero. You sound like one of those sleuths, that explore, try to determine the answer to mysteries.
Nice.
The librarian, Ericson. So how you doing this morning, Steve?
I'm doing good, Doug. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just very well. So who are we talking about today? The Flashback CCM, the Christian, or Contemporary Christian Music Flashback.
This is Mr. Wayne Watson.
He said something to me years ago that never left me. Never. I spoke with him in about 1984, I think it was. When did he get his start?
I'm thinking he goes back at least toward 1980 was his initial release called...
Okay, so I've got my timing just about right.
Yeah.
I was doing an interview with him, and he told me something that stuck with me, and it's great advice for everybody. That is that be careful what you read and what you look at, because no matter what, it's going to stay in your mind forever.
Oh, boy.
That was potent.
That is.
But I'm not here to steal your thunder. You talk about Wayne Watson.
Well, I had forgotten some of the things that I just had read to get ready for today. I actually found out... Yeah, well, I know about the song, but didn't realize so much of his background, like before he got into music, that he was actually going to try to become a professional baseball player. And I didn't realize that part. He discovered and got kind of dabbling into music in college, and I don't remember the exact transpired how to get the first release, those kind of things, but this ends up being his signature song. It's called Touch of the Master's Hand.
It's one of those songs that always brings, I hate to say this, but it always brings tears to my eyes.
It's a powerful song, and I understand it's based on a poem that was written even a long time before that was able to be put into music, and it's become really a standard for him, probably a signature song, I would probably guess to say.
I would think so.
Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah, every time I think of Wayne Watson, that's the song I think about.
Yeah, there's a few songs in there that I guess you might call story songs in the history of contemporary Christian music, but this is probably one of the most powerful ones and most memorable ones that might fit into that category. I think of other songs like For Annie from Petra, Two Sets of Joneses from Big Tent Revival. There's a few of them in there that kind of stick out. But this is a really powerful one that was probably one of his earliest hits, probably. I believe it originally came out back in 1984. And still remains one of the top ones for him, and certainly the top ones for contemporary Christian music for the decade of the 80s.
You know, it's interesting that you are talking about him. I've been reading up on him recently as well. And one thing, you know, he's a music director of a big church in Houston.
Yes, I think I did read that. I wasn't aware that's where he was currently, but I do read his things once in a while on Facebook. He's got his own Facebook page and keeps it up pretty regular.
It's one of those things where, what was that program? Where Are They Now?
Right.
And also, did you ever read? I'm not trying to steal your thunder there. I'm just trying to. I'm just thinking certain things I've read about him. Do you know how he started? He was at a camp.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes, and he was performing, and the father of one of the children videotaped his performance and sent it in to one of the record companies.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I was reading about weekend.
No, I don't know if I read that part.
There's so much information out there that you can't possibly read and memorize everything about somebody.
Right.
It's fascinating. Now, the song itself, Touch of the Master's Hand, do you have any history on that? Was it written by Wayne Watson? Was it written earlier than that? What's the case?
You know, I'm not sure. I didn't have a chance to dig quite that far, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Like I said, I did realize it was kind of centered around a kind of a poem or short story that talked about that was even, boy, that might be going back as far as maybe even the early 1900s. It's a pretty old story that it's based on, but I didn't quite get far to see if he wrote it himself. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I know he does write several of his songs, but I wasn't quite sure if he did that one.
So if you had to describe the song or explain it to somebody, how would you explain it?
Well, I think it's a great song talking about the transformation Christ can make in somebody's life. I mean, he kind of just takes us where we are and takes us to where we can be with his help.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just caught you off guard with that, so that's really amazing.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about that song for a while since I knew we were possibly going to be talking about that one, and it certainly sticks in my mind as a powerful one. Even the very first time I heard it when I was first in radio in college. As you know, I'm a broadcasting major, that is, and started studying for that in the fall of '85. So that song was fairly new when we were spinning it back then, as you know, in vinyl. We probably played it on 45, I'm sure, at that point, and eventually moved it over to CD. But yeah, that was a powerful song, and it was one of those ones that kind of caught me off guard too, because I didn't realize that Christian music could have songs that were that powerful. I don't know. I was kind of fairly new to the whole realm of CCM music at that point. It was kind of more, grew up in the church, but didn't realize there was so much music that you could actually have fun with, I guess. But a lot of our churches, as you know, back in that time were more hymns and more slower music, I guess, to a certain extent. Some churches at that point didn't even have guitars or drums in the service. So it was interesting to get into the opportunity to know more of these songs and get to know more of these artists, where you can kind of take the word and kind of put it in a different style, so to speak. That would be.
Well, you got that right at the beginning, because in my mind, now there are some that will disagree with me, but in my mind, contemporary Christian music, as we know it today, really started about 1982.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where, I mean, I saw the Imperials in 1979, but that was the early Imperials, and I guess they could have started then, but it really came in with a bang in about 1982.
It certainly got to be more professional sounding, I guess you might call it by that point, as far as production value is concerned. You go back before that with Honey Tree and some of these other ones that started like Love Song and some of those, that it was kind of more basic, just voices and a piano or voices and a guitar, where it wasn't that polished until the time period you're speaking of.
Well, I can certainly tell that as time passes here, we're going to go further and further back.
We might. I'd like to.
Because, I mean, those are names I never thought about. Honey Tree or Evie, Stephen and Henny Chapman. I was going to say Stephen Christian.
Right.
People like that. So that'll be exciting to hear that. Well, Stephen, speak the line for me, Ericson. I appreciate it. We're going to play Touch of the Master's Hand as the CCM Flashback for today.
Sounds good.
Have a great day, Stephen. I will talk to you later on.
Sounds great. Thanks, Douglas.